Hello there. Again, from Napa Valley, we are live on CellarPassTV, and that can only mean one thing, ladies and gentlemen. It must be the Napa Valley Film Festival weekend. The fine folks here at CellarPass have once again put together some wonderful broadcasts with some stellar winemaking individuals here from Napa Valley. I'm joined by Sarah Elliman from CellarPass. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Thanks so much for being here today.
Yes, I'm excited because we did this last year.
We did, but we didn't get to do it from such an amazing location.
True. This is a happy place.
We're stepping up in life.
So where are we right now?
We are at the exclusive Red Room in Raymond Vineyards. It's a members-only club, and you have got to check this place out. It is so opulent, over the top. You definitely want to be a member.
It's amazing. I like red. Red is a mutineer color, so this is a very, very amazing room
It's like your second home.
Right, exactly. So this is the second year of the Napa Valley Film Festival.
Yes,
This
indeed.
is the second year of CellarPass doing CellarPassTV live broadcasts. What's the whole concept here? Tell our viewers a little bit what's going on.
Well, the concept we're going with, CellarPass, as most of you know, is the online reservation system to reserve your winery experiences, and CellarPassTV was basically born out of that concept to bring those experiences to you via video online, where we do virtual tastings, so you can join in and do tastings with us and have the experience at home. You can also check out these amazing properties and the experiences that the wineries offer through our different videos that we post. So definitely stay tuned to CellarPass TV and check out all of the different content that we're bringing to you right into the coziness of your living room.
And we are joined by some bloggers remotely today.
We are. So today we have 4 guest bloggers. We call them our bloggers in the field. And we have Nikki in Atlanta, and we have Cellar Mistress out in Iowa, I believe. If I got your state wrong, I am so sorry. I know that she is in the process of trying to move to Napa Valley, so we hope to see her here very soon. And we have Martin Jean, and he is in New York. And we have Diesel, and he is... Oh, I can't remember where
Bronx,
he is.
right?
No, that's Martin. That's in New York.
Oh.
Virginia,
Alexandria,
sorry.
right?
Yes. So sorry. Okay, epic fail, but that's okay. We got it. So they're joining us online, and they actually have the wines with them today. So we have Mumm Napa featuring their wine with us. We're going to go through their 2007 Blanc de Blancs, and then we're going to have the one and only Jean-Charles Boisset here in the Red Room, and he will be sharing with us the 2009 Napa Valley Reserve Cabernet.
Yes.
So the bloggers have these wines with them. They are going to sip along with us and actually post their comments and get their questions answered right here live from the Red Room.
Now, before we drink some wine, Napa Valley Film Festival.
Yes.
Give us the lowdown.
The Film Fest. This is year 2 of the Napa Valley Film Fest, and this is competing with the likes of Sundance. It's big, it's amazing. You've never seen such a star-studded event in Napa Valley. You can check out these independent films, major studio releases, all happening at the same time, filled with food and wine and amazing just red carpet events, things that it taught us how to party last year, I think. I mean, it took us up a few levels. So we're very excited to be a part of this again this year, and really are looking forward to what they're going to bring in the next few years.
Yeah, and it's only the second year.
Yes.
It's getting bigger and bigger, and they're going to world premiere the documentary Psalm tomorrow.
This is so exciting.
So it's a pretty big coup, a pretty big
Yes.
thing.
And then I heard about the new Century Theater being opened in Napa as well. That's all happening this weekend. So it's a big deal. So if you like food and you like wine and you love film, you have got to get up here to Napa Valley. Tickets are still available. You can go online to napavalleyfilmfest.org and get your passes. Patron passes are the creme de la creme, and they get you into places like the Red Room for the Patrons Club. You can also get your Pass Pluses, which are uber awesome, and you'll be able to get into the red carpet event like the gala and the wrap party. Or if you can just buzz up here for a movie, you can get your rush tickets for only $10 per ticket, so it's pretty cool.
Now, if I want to go to Napa, and I maybe can't make it up this week for the festival, but I want to come up in general, how could CellarPass maybe be a tool for me to discover places like this that I might not be aware of?
CellarPass is a great tool for that. So you can go online to CellarPass.com, and you can look at the different wineries. You can search by region, so you can say Napa Valley or Sonoma or Calaveras or New York, wherever you happen to be visiting. And then you can look at the different wineries, and in there the wineries will show you what their availability is based on your date and what experiences they have to offer. So everyone knows you can go tasting at a winery, of course, But there are so many amazing experiences to be had. And then we're talking about going beyond bellying up to the bar and tasting. We're talking about places like the Red Room, doing food and wine pairings, tours in the cave, winemaker-led tours, barrel tasting, you name it. There's so many different opportunities. And I always like to say we're stopping the oh darn factor. Like when you get to the winery and go, oh darn, I wish I'd known they did that. Now you can, and you can find out about this ahead of time, book your appointment real time, and then show up on the date of your visit and have an amazing journey. And that brings us to other experiences like Mumm Napa. It's amazing. The views are unbeatable. And if you ever come to Napa Valley for the first time, or you haven't been to Mumm Napa, you have to check this out. The views are just amazing vistas. The vineyards right in front of you, the hills, gorgeous. And you can take it all in from their Oak Terrace, which is their exclusive tasting lounge outdoors where they have the library-only wines. Very, very exciting. And with that, let us bring in our very first guest from Mumm Napa, Ron Lee.
Hey, how are you guys?
Hello.
Doing
They say it's not a party until the bubbles show up, so here I am.
That's my
I'll play
favorite
that game.
part.
Yeah, great.
Do you want to go ahead and maybe get that open, and then
sure,
I will hand you the
absolutely.
microphone?
First of all, we are highlighting our 2007 Blanc de Blanc, white wine from white grapes from Mumm Napa, 2007. Excellent year. I think I'll get this started, and so we'll go from there.
I always get excited when bubbles are going to be open.
Now, there are a number of different ways to open bottles. A saber is a fun way to do it, but we don't recommend that. You do that anywhere at home. We always want to keep your thumb on the bottle. Always make sure that there's a lot of pressure in here. It doesn't go off. If you take a cloth napkin, put it over the top, you're supposed to turn the bottle nice and slowly, and then it will slowly unleash, and it's supposed to sound like a nice hissing sound. But this is the season of celebration, so I think it's nothing better than to actually make the noise of the popping sound. That is just an absolutely terrific sound. It's a very happy sound, and we're delighted to have it for us.
Excellent. Well, I will hand this off to you.
Okay.
And I'll take this.
Okay, great.
And we'll get you guys poured.
Poured. Perfect. Well, we're at Mumm Napa. We're about, like you said, just about 5 minutes down the road on the Silverado Trail. We're about halfway on the trail between Napa and Calistoga. We're not considered a super large winery for sparkling wine. We make about 250,000 cases of wine. For a regular winery, that's pretty large, but for a sparkling wine, it's about right in the middle. We make about 15 different wines, so it's just terrific. To come on by, try our wines. We have a lot of wonderful opportunities. We have 2 great photo galleries. We have a number of different tours. We have all kinds of just excellent opportunities for visitors to the Napa Valley.
Outstanding. So let's talk about this a little bit. This is the 2007 Blanc de Blanc. What are we looking at for grapes that go into this?
Well, traditionally, French Blanc de Blancs would be 100% Chardonnay, and that is just because they have those traditions and regulations on what grape varietals they're allowed to use. We here in America can be a little more artistic, and we use different grape varietals. Here we use 10% Pinot Gris in the blend. So as you can smell it, you pick up a lot of those nice Chardonnay characteristics from, you get a little lemon lime, a little pear, a little melon, nice creamy vanilla.
What are you looking for the Pinot Gris to add?
The Pinot Gris adds a little spiciness and also adds a little bit of body to the wine. So as you taste it, it's not nearly as linear as you might have with 100% Chardonnay. I think it's got a really nice creamy texture to it. It's got a nice body to it as well. What do our bloggers think out there?
I'm sure they will be
They are
chirping.
sipping away, and we're getting ready to start pulling in their feeds here.
Right. Well, today, we always think that you should create your own celebration life. A lot of people wait around waiting for those celebrations, but this is the perfect wine for any celebration. It's also terrific to sit around and basically, make things happen, accentuate the positive, and create every day as a celebration in life.
Now, speaking of celebrations, our San Francisco Giants here, they had a pretty good year.
They did.
And how did they celebrate
They
their...
did, and they popped off Mumm Napa Brut Prestige our signature wine. We've been partnering with the San Francisco Giants for the last 3 years. It's been, and 2 out of those 3 have been world championships, and we are absolutely delighted to be a part of that. And we look forward to working with them in the future.
Nice. Now, with this being a vintage bottling, what's the lifespan on something like this? How long do you want to age it, and how is it going to evolve in the bottle?
Well, we've aged it about 36 months for you, so it's ready to drink, as you can see. However, you know, these things can last easily 5 to 10 years. This is primarily Chardonnay in there, so it really will add a lot of ageability to the wine. You know, our non-vintage wines, probably 3 to 4. What will happen in there is that you've got that little dosage of sugar in there. It's going to caramelize over the years. If you age it, you get a little more honey-like on the nose and on the palate. So it just depends on how you like your bubbly, and I think it's ready to go right now.
And can you talk a little bit about some of the other bottlings at Mumm Napa?
Absolutely. We make about again 15 different wines. You'll find about 3 to 6 wines distributed nationally. Our Brut Prestige is our signature wine that most people see. We make about 130,000 cases of that. We have our Brut Rosé, which is a lovely rosé, very dry on the palate, but still very fruity on the nose. We have a Cuvée M, which has a little bit of a sweetness to it. So for those people that like spicier foods or like to have, you know, that are a little introduction to the bubbly, it's a great wine to have. We also have some tiers that are reserve wines. Like this is a reserve wine, obviously aged a little bit longer on the yeast. It picks up a little more of those toasty characteristics that you get from that. And we also have our top of the line wines, which are our DVX series. DVX stands for our founding winemaker. His name was Guy Deveau. Couldn't call the wine Deveau because there's a Deveau Vineyards in Champagne, France. So we did, like most good California companies, took his last name and removed the vowels, and that's where we get DVX.
Now, when you really want to highlight these wines as food pairing wines, what are some of your go-to dishes that you really like to pair them with?
The great thing about bubbly is that it really goes well with all kinds of foods.
It does, huh?
One, it's very high in acidity, and it's low in, pretty low in alcohol, so it really can match with an array of different types of foods. Bubbly in general is great as a highlighter to seafood. When instead of using that lemon, you just use the bubbly to complement that on your palate. It's also terrific as a counterbalance to deep fried salty foods or rich creamy foods. So linguine with pasta would be great, or excuse me, linguine with clam sauce on pasta would be great, or deep fried salty foods, fried calamari would be terrific with it. One of my favorites is fried artichoke hearts that you get from Monterey on the way home. It's just absolutely terrific.
Yes.
I think it's absolutely great.
It sounds delicious.
But today is, as you know, today, again, you were talking about celebrations earlier. Today is Election Day.
It is.
It's a great opportunity to celebrate. Obviously, Dizell's out in Virginia, and we have somebody out in Des Moines, 2 battleground states that have been there. You know, there's a great reason to celebrate today with all of those candidates finally leaving. No more gridlock, no more robocalls. They should definitely be popping the bottle and enjoying. With that, I can also tell you that we have had our wines served in the White House for the last 4 presidents. So I can say that we definitely have bipartisan support in Washington.
Yes. Any bottlings in particular, or does it rotate?
Rotates.
Yeah.
Obviously, DVX has been there. This last president, actually W, was really into Cuvée M and our Brut Rosé. Not him, he doesn't drink, but the girls and the wife were really into it. And President Obama used our Santana at one of the state dinners.
Okay.
So it's really, really nice.
And can you explain the Santana bottling?
It is a collaboration with Carlos Santana, a local guy here in Marin County. Obviously, he has restaurants, he makes shoes, he makes great music, and he wanted to get into wine. So we partnered with him. He comes up to the winery occasionally, works with our winemaking team, and he's got a great bottling. It says Santana right on the label. Part of the proceeds go back to his Milagro Foundation.
Outstanding.
Just sold at the winery. You can get it at mummnapa.com.
And then Mumm is going to be present throughout the film festival, pouring at various...
Absolutely, absolutely. We're a big proponent of the film festival. We love what they're doing. This is a wonderful time to be here, and we appreciate you giving us the chance to show off our stuff.
I'm glad that you're here. This is delicious. Do we have any questions from
You know what? We are
blogger world?
getting the tweets coming through for some silly reason.
Hopefully they're drinking it all.
Yeah, right.
I know this crew, but yeah, for whatever reason, Ustream is not.
The magical powers of the Red Room.
The magical powers of the Red Room are not letting us get to our tweets.
Let's talk about the harvest.
Well, I got another question. Vintage variation. Napa, how does that affect sparkling in particular?
Well, it does a little bit, not as much as it does with the big power cabs. We pick a little earlier than everybody else, normally about the second week of August. So we're ahead of everyone. So those rains that come at odd times doesn't normally affect us. Most of our wines are non-vintage wines, so we can blend back wines from last year. Unlike how we differ a little bit from our counterparts in France, is that the European weather patterns there are drastically different from year to year. They could be wiped out in 1 year, not have anything. So by law, they actually hold back a certain amount of wine to use for blending. We don't normally have that problem here in California. It's just the weather's absolutely terrific. So we can have a vintage year every year, which is really nice. So again, it doesn't affect us too much, but we're really blessed by that.
And then the vineyards, how much of those are estates, and then how much of that fruit is bought from other vineyards?
Actually, most all of it is purchased. We have long-term contracts with about 40 different growers, 60 different lots. And it's primarily from in the cooler zones of the Napa Valley. So Yountville all the way down to Carneros. That's where we source our fruit.
And then is there one major misconception that you see people having about California sparkling wine, Mumm Napa sparkling wine? How do consumers respond to this? Is there a high level of understanding?
I think it's getting better year after year. People are definitely trying more sparkling wines. One of the things that happened during the little recession that we had is people were coming down a little bit, so they weren't always spending 5 days drinking French champagnes, and they were trying some of the others, which is great for us. We have had a large contingent of followers. We are an everyday affordable luxury that you can find basically all throughout California and the United States. And again, it's people are slowly starting to bring sparkling into their lives, which is terrific.
So
it is.
Giselle says, bright and effervescent and pleasantly complex, fine persistent bubbles. He's loving the Blanc de Blancs.
Excellent. That's great.
We do have some fans.
We do have some fans. Yay, and I'm finally able to see their comments. These are all good things. I'll keep them coming as I start.
It is opening up nicely, and we were talking earlier about how nice and refreshing it is to have a chilled glass of bubbles, and then kind of let it come up in temperature a little bit and see how those aromas come to life and the layers and the complexity.
Absolutely. A lot of people serve these too warm, but again, if it's really chilled, it will come up in your glass. You're holding it for a certain amount of time, and you really can pick up those aromas. Right now, I'm again getting a lot of melon aromas in there.
A lot rounder, a lot more tropical.
Yeah, absolutely. A little pineapple. The aging of this wine, 36 months, gives you one of those vanilla creme brulee type of aromas, taste.
And this wine goes through partial mallow, right?
That's right.
Give us some
6% mallow, so it has a little creamy texture, little layers of that. It's really nice. A little bit of, also just a touch of oak aging, so it gives a little bit of wood notes as well.
It's very elegant and very layered and very complex, yet at the same time it has that confidence. It has a richness in its core.
Absolutely.
So we have some questions coming in. What would you suggest this to be paired with for like a dinner, entree, or an appetizer?
Appetizer, scallops. It would be nice with anything that's fried, anything that has a little buttery notes to it. the acidity will cut right through that. Be really nice with that. Or cheeses. Cheeses work really nice too. Hard cheeses, triple creams, things like that. Just it's wonderful with that. Also, these wines go well with tart foods. So, fruits, certain fruits or dishes that are made with vinegar or leeks, pomegranates, tomatoes, anything that's high in acid. These wines will stay with those really nicely. So, just depends.
Fresh heirloom tomato salad with burrata cheese.
Oh, that sounds good.
Sounds good to me.
Question coming in. How do you make sparkling wine? How do you get the bubbles in the bottle?
Well, we make wine like most people, but instead of going into barrels at that point, we induce a second fermentation in the bottle by adding yeast and sugar. One of the byproducts is CO2 gas. It's trapped in the bottle, and that's where the bubbles come from. And when you come to Mumm Napa, you will be able to go on one of 4 tours that we offer and learn all about that process.
So go to CellarPass.com. Book your trip to Mumm right away.
Absolutely.
Shameless plugs. All right. Who knows? We're going through our questions here. We got that one. We're asking, what other sparkling wines does Mumm make, and what are your favorites?
We make a different amount. We love all different types. It depends on what I'm eating. Basically, is what I'm going to be looking at taking home. Again, if I'm going to be eating Chinese food or anything that's soy based, definitely our Brut Rosé. If we're going to be eating pizza, we're going to looking at some of our reserve wines that will go nicely with those, like our DeVoe Ranch. DVX is always a favorite of mine. Great with scallops, great with very refined foods. So it just depends. But one of the great things about working at a winery is that most of the only work that you take home are the open bottles at the end of the night. So you get to really try them out with a bunch of different foods, which is wonderful.
I found the full feed. I'm so excited. I'm busting down my technical difficulties over here. So we have, not that one should have an SP wine for the next day, but curious, how long does an SP remain consistent?
After it's open, or are you just talking about?
That comes from Dizelle, so sounds like over time and like
age it.
Maybe age.
So if you buy it, and how long can you store it?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. Again, it depends on how you like it, but easily store it in a dark, cool place, just like you would your normal wines. It's probably 5 to 10 years easily. If it's a Blanc de Blanc, that structure of the Chardonnay will make it age a little longer. So depends on what you're looking at. Again, that little dosage of reserve wine and sweetness in there is going to caramelize over time to a little more honey-like characteristics. So if you like it that way, absolutely age it. But if you're, we've aged it for you, ready to drink right now.
The best way to taste these, I think, is like we talked about before. I'll take a little more. Why not?
Absolutely.
Right? The terrace. You guys have some wonderful tastings set up where you can try multiple bottlings next to each other, and pair them with cheeses and so forth.
We do. Our Oak Terrace experience is it's kind of a new thing for us. We've got a 180-year-old oak tree out there. It's just a totally different feeling out there. Nice cushions. Got cheese plates. Reserve wines only, and you can just come on in and absolutely give it a try. It's a beautiful setting, and you'll really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Go in there with like a boyfriend, girlfriend, and then you each get different wines and you taste them all. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And in our regular tasting room, we also do a lot of different flights, where again, if you're with more than 1 or 2 people, you order different ones and share them. Absolutely, that's what we totally recommend that.
So this all comes back with, what did the 10% PG add? Also, are there labeling laws as far as Chardonnay percentages for calling it a Blanc de Blancs?
Yeah, 85% is what we do here. So as long as it's 85%, that's what be Chardonnay based. The Pinot, what does the Pinot Gris do? Is that what he said?
Yes.
What we do in the Pinot Gris, again, it's just adding a little more fleshiness, a little more body, a little spicy characteristics. Again, it's just rounding out that acidic structure a little bit and softening it a little bit, and then having that exactly a linear Chardonnay-based total 100% wine.
Something that fascinates me about sparkling, I think a lot of people aren't aware of, is large formats. They're so fun for special occasions. Do you guys offer large formats at all?
We do at the winery. We primarily magnums of a couple of our wines, our Brut Prestige and our Brut Rosé. And you're right, by aging in the magnums, it really picks up a little more yeast characteristics, a little more biscuity characteristics, toastiness, and it's double the fun. Absolutely.
And then do you offer a wine club?
We do. We have a very nice wine club. It's just gone through a transition, but it's a quarterly club. They offer 3 different clubs, so you can definitely check that out on mummnapa.com for more information.
There's got to be some rare stuff being sent out to club only offerings.
Again, it's primarily our reserve and higher wines, which is nice. It's a nice set. Great for gifts, great for the holidays. Absolutely.
This is making me happy. Drinking this wine in this room. It's a winning combination.
It is.
Wine and this amazing room full of crystal chandeliers and red velvet. It's a pretty happy spot.
Do we have any more last call for questions from...
Going back to the consistency question, clarification was, how long does it stay consistent after it's open?
After it's open. It'll again. You shouldn't have a problem finishing a bottle. So the consistency of it should be great.
Never have.
Normally, that second or third bottle that you need some help. And actually, all you need is these great wine stuffers that we have that will definitely keep it airtight and very fresh for a couple of days. But our wines are very aged long enough that they will have really nice consistency and persistency in the bubbles.
I love it.
Yeah, great.
Is that going to do it for questions?
I think so. I think we're coming down to the slowdown on questions here, and unfortunately, little technical difficulties slowed the progress. So I apologize to everyone. Are we ready to? Oh. Grace is saying she's having internet issues and she's trying to get on. Well, that got through.
Well, it must be all those reporters in Des Moines tonight that are taking up the web.
She's trying. Want to hear from you.
Well, the good news is it's an easy wine to like. Nothing complicated about that.
I think so. And again, what our winemaker really likes to do is, again, we take the traditional method that they use in France, but we make a very California product, very fruit forward, very easy drinking. We have a very clean finish. Doesn't take you off anywhere. It kind of takes you where you think it's supposed to go, and I think this is a great example of that.
Definitely.
How just light and crisp it is, and you can sip it alone. You know that this is going to pair well with any foods. I mean, you could do anything as simple as burgers and pizza, or take it up to something very, very, very nice. You're saying like the scallops, or you can even serve it with dinner or all the way to dessert. So this is such a versatile wine. It's very, very exciting.
It is. It's great. Oysters on the half shell. This would be terrific. Sushi, sashimi. I mean, and for people that are new to bubbly, try it with potato chips and popcorn. Seriously, it'll be the best potato chips that you've ever had.
I think this is excellent, especially going into the holidays. When you think of your entertaining and what bottle of wine do you bring, to the hostess, and this would be perfect because it doesn't matter what's being served. This is going to go perfectly. It's not a bottle you'd ever be ashamed of. It's not going to be like, oh, well, we're not serving that tonight. This is going to be open, welcome with open arms, no doubt. So I highly recommend it. Add it to your holiday hostess gift list. Buy 2, 3, or 6 bottles or more, and keep it close by, because I can see this, slapping a bow on this and be able to just go like, here you go, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. It's awesome.
Definitely.
Gracie, yes. Yes, we can see you.
You know what the trick is to giving bottles of bubbles as gifts at Christmas? Giving them cold.
Yes.
Chilled.
Keep them chilled. Do not come with a warm bottle. That is a big
Because then the natural inclination is to open it immediately,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
You don't mess with simplicity.
Grace
Absolutely.
says, with Fritz, salty with truffle oil.
Excellent. Excellent choice.
If you want to give Mumm Napa a shout out on Twitter, it's at Mumm Napa. How easy is that?
Which sparkling wine pairs best with a second presidential term? Oh, they're coming alive now. Here they go.
Wow. Okay.
And do you change up the formula with each vintage?
We do. This, for example, again, it's up to our winemaking team. We've had up to 30% Pinot Gris in this wine before. Again, so it just depends on what's out there, what Mother Nature has given us in terms of the grapes that year. The blends could change a little bit on some of our other wines, but for the most part, we're very, very consistent year to year.
All right. Got here. She got me with the truffle oil. Still stuck over there. All right. That's good. You know what? More things. Look at this. They're starting to pop in now. Love it when technology catches up with the rest of us. All right. Yeah, the presidential term, that got me. That was hysterical.
That's good. That's a good one.
But all right. Well, we're slowing down here on the questions again, so we'll give it a couple of seconds.
Well, to answer that presidential thing, Michelle Obama is the first lady, is really into bubbles. So hopefully we can get her out to Napa at some point so she can come visit. The governor was really into, and his wife were really into bubbles too. So we were able to supply them with a nice share of wines while he was governor.
Who would have guessed?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's the last call for questions. Good questions. Thank you,
I think they are.
blogger compatriots.
To find out more about today's featured winery, Mumm Napa, or to plan your next visit to wine country, go to CellarPass.com. Once you're there, you can book a variety of wine tasting experiences and download the free CellarPass app to get instant access to exclusive tours and tastings. That's CellarPass.com for instant access to book with our exclusive wine country destinations.